You guys set me
It's
up.
back to Ron.
It's okay, Schultz. You're used to laying it on the line here, making your pick. You stand alone, my friend. Milton, I just got a quick call. They can get you in the lineup Labor Day.
They can get me in. Okay, sounds good.
85. We'll be back. We'll be back.
Group Field, old rivals, now division rivals, defending Grey Cup champions against the Western Division leaders, Roughriders and Blue Bombers.
Two great running backs in this game. Will Ford has almost 200 yards and 5 touchdowns rushing in 2 games for the Riders. He started training camp with the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, hurt his hamstring and lost his job to Nick Grigsby, Winnipeg starting tailback, who ranks first in the league in attempts at 80 and second in rushing yards to Andrew Harris.
Michael O'Shea's Bombers won 2 straight on the road after a loss in a much-hyped battle of unbeatens against Edmonton in their last home game. And just like the Bombers, Corey Chambers' Riders on a 2-game winning streak. They stayed in Ottawa after a convincing win over the Red Blacks. They put up 37 and 38 points in their last 2 games.
It's on tonight. These 2 teams are going to have to try and control their emotions more than anything. No pregame speech needed for this one.
Been bubbling over since the warm-up. Chris Milo gets it going. And it will be Aaron Woods on the return. Up beyond the 35. Woods to the 40 to set things up for the former Riders. Drew Willie, 2-time Offensive Player of the Week, 3 times a 300-yard passer.
We'll watch the student and the mentor in Willie and Durant, but a few other players to watch. Matthias Gosen will start at guard. The rookie out of Simon Fraser University plays for Patty Neufeld, who is injured. Aaron Kelly had 100 yards and 2 of his 4 over 100. Julian Fioli-Godino, big catch last week against Hamilton.
Starters to watch brought to you by Napa Auto Parts, where custom advice comes standard. It is Grigsby with the first play of the game, up to the 44-yard line.
Look at the defense for the Saskatchewan Roughriders. Interesting relationship between Drew Willie and Tyron Brackenridge, the safety. More on that as this game goes on. Tristan Jackson, huge game against the Ottawa Red Blacks. 111-yard missed field goal return for a touchdown. Also had a pick. And we talked a lot about John Chick last week. But Tyrius George having a great season. The interior of that defensive line.
2nd and 6 in the drive last week in Hamilton. Converted 5 times on 2nd down or 3rd. Catch by Fioli-Godino here near a first down. But Sam Hurl lowered the boom. We'll see what forward progress is. Looks like it's going to require measurement.
Got there quickly from Sam Hurl. The tackle was made almost immediately, but it looks like it was close enough for the first.
They do give him beyond the 50, and it will be a first down for one of the heroes last week, Fioli-Godino.
Yeah, Fioli-Godino, I mentioned that big catch to set up the game-winning touchdown for the Bombers against the Hamilton Tiger Cats. Coming on.
Still starting, even though Corey Watson back in the lineup. Grigsby trying to bounce it outside. Nothing doing as John Chick was waiting for him.
That was quite a drive for Drew Willie and the offense for the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. 11-play, 94-yard drive with the time running out. Fights off a sack there. This catch by Aaron Kelly, absolutely excellent. Here comes Fioli-Godino right down the seam. Takes a big hit and hangs on to that one. Nick Grigsby finishes it off, and a 1-point win for the Bombers.
Couple for Grigsby on first down, and flags fly. Somebody moved on that offensive line.
Procedure. Winnipeg number 64. Player was in the 3-point stands and removed. 5-yard penalty. Remains 2nd down.
The left guard Chris Greaves. There have been changes for Michael O'Shea on that offensive line with injuries to Dan Knapp. But you mentioned Patrick Neufeld. Greaves had been out. And there's Gosen in his first CFL start. So 2nd and 13. And Weldon Brown blitzing. Willie steps up, throws underneath, and it's batted down by Hurl flag down in the Riders secondary. That's going to be pass interference.
Steve Morley does a real good job of allowing Drew Willie a chance to just throw this football. He picks up the blitz from Weldon Brown. And because Willie is able to throw it, a flag is thrown at the other end.
Pass interference, Saskatchewan number 31. Automatic first down.
So they call Sam Hurl, who leads the Riders in tackles with 24. Got there a split second too early.
Sam Hurl's working with Tyron Brackenridge here. Both receivers kind of cross. You see 31 in the front of your screen there. He grabs the jersey in behind Brackenridge, who also grabbed the waist of Clarence Denmark.
So another first down for the Bombers. Here comes the heat. This time they get through. And John Chick registers his 7th sack of the season. Went without for the first time last week, but he's on the board early here tonight.
Yeah, he just couldn't wait to get this game started because he didn't get one last week. He had at least one in every game of the season until he got to Ottawa. And he had 2 games to start the season with 2 sacks. So when he didn't get one last week, you know he was chomping at the bit to get back at it, and he doesn't waste much time, does he?
One shy of his total of last year. Had only 3 as of Labor Day last year. Willie sets up, fires, tipped, intercepted. There's Mark Legree coming up with his 2nd interception of the year. So a tip ball, and the Roughriders come up with an early turnover against the Bombers. Opening possession takeaway. Mark Legree up with it. Rider football when we come back to Investors Group Field.
Mark Legree's going to do a nice job of reading Willie and dropping back to the middle, but the play is made on this interception from Macho Harris in a trail position on Clarence Denmark. Hold it there, guys. He's in perfect position. Doesn't panic, in the back hip of Denmark. Waits to the ball to be thrown. Gets in there, tips it up to his teammate.
Roughriders scored on their first 4 possessions in Ottawa. 33 points on turnovers in their last 2 games. They go to work after the interception, and the 4 Bomber will forward straight ahead and into Bomber territory and pushes the pile for a first down.
Number 1 rushing team in the CFL, the Saskatchewan Roughriders at 125.6 per game. Will Ford close to 200 yards in 2 games and has scored 5 touchdowns. Put Chaz Schillens in there. He's in for Taj Smith, who's in trouble off the field. We'll see if Schillens can play that short side wide open. Brendan LeBat was a bit banged up last week, but it's good to go.
First down, 5 receivers out, and the pass is caught. Schillens with the grab. In the spot, made available by the problems for Taj Smith.
Take a look at this Bomber defense led by Greg Peach up front. 4 sacks, 20 tackles, which lead the defensive linemen for him. Been real impressed with Maurice Leggett back at free safety. He's got a lot of NFL experience, starting to learn the game in the wide field, playing real well. Ian Wild, coach can't talk enough about Ian Wild and how good a football player he is in the middle.
6 for Schillens, who registers his 2nd catch of the year, 2nd and 4. And Durant throws complete. Damon Washington trying to wave it off, but it's a catch for Chris Getzlaff, who had 5 for 57 last week in Ottawa.
And a lot of those 5, Chris, were early in the game. I mean, his presence on his return against the Ottawa Redblacks felt immediately. They were all in the first half for Getzlaff as he just calmed down the entire offense in their passing game against Ottawa.
8-yard pitch and catch. Shorter hands from Getzlaff. Back in the hands of Ford. Flags fly as he gets tossed down. Teague Sherman, the University of Manitoba Bison product, with the tackle.
Well, the flags flew right when Will Ford tried to pause there at the hole and then bounce it.
Saskatchewan number 80, 10-yard penalty. Remains first down.
It's the fullback Spencer Moore. And Moore and Ford both head to the sidelines. It'll be 1st and 20. 6 receiver set. Short drop, look out. And Darian Durant drilled by Ian Wild off the edge. So both teams have sacks early.
Maurice Leggett, the free safety, does a nice job of disguise here, then is going to bail at the last second. Darian Durant wants to go there, but the safety gets back into coverage, and he has to go backside and doesn't have time to look to his second and third reads. Here comes Leggett out of the middle. Watch Durant turn, and then now he's got to look short side. He just can't get it there.
Last time here, the Bombers had 8 sacks. They'll screen to Ford here, and Will Ford follows the blocking and then gets dropped. At the 35, they don't get back to the original line of scrimmage. Ford with a gain of 12, and the field goal unit will come on.
Quick consultation between George Cortez, the offensive coordinator, and Darian Durant on that last play, and I guarantee you they're talking about what Maurice Leggett did on that last first down when he dropped out of the middle, showed the blitz, and forced Durant to go to a second and third read. That second and third read didn't have time to get it to him, so he's going to have to block that up.
Chris Milo, 3 for 3 last week, 3 for 4 from outside the 40. This from 42 out. And Milo will put it through. Tucked it inside. 3 points off the interception. Roughriders strike first against Drew Willie and the Blue Bombers in Winnipeg. Roughriders strike first. They've won 10 of the last 12 meetings, 15 of 19 against the Bombers. Last meeting was the Banjo Bowl. Winnipeg prevailed 25-13 as they split their 2 last year. This is the first of 3 and 5 weeks between these 2 rivals. Aaron Woods fields the short kickoff up at his 20. He's got a little room, and he gets leveled beyond the 40-yard line. Woodney Tureen with the tackle, and a flag down.
Oh, that was solid. That was a little indication of the rivalry and the intensity of this rivalry right there on the special teams.
Illegal participation, Winnipeg number 59. The player went out of bounds and came back in bounds. This is a 10-yard penalty. First down.
Gord Hines gets called.
Let's take a look at this contact. Aaron Woods, meet Woodney Tureen.
So after the penalty, Bombers will start at their 30. Drew Willie, a career best 361 yards passing at McMaster last week. The hitch is into the flat, and there is Grigsby with the catch. They want to get him out in space. They feel that's where he is most effective.
Drew Willie learning from Darian Durant, his backup the last couple of years, and has learned well. Only quarterback in the league, 3 300-yard passing games. The only quarterback in the CFL, 2-time player of the week.
Second and short, inside Grigsby gets stacked up, not going anywhere. And it'll be short of the first down. Punt team has to come on.
So the mentor gets his turn next.
Derek Walker with the stuff.
A lot of talk about that, the relationship between Drew Willie and Darian Durant. Right now, Durant has the field position advantage in this one.
Liram Hiralahu, great move. Backpedals Jackson to his 16. And cover team gets the job done. A 57-yard punt, 4 in the return. Former Bomber Will Ford ready to go to work. Sarah Oleski with more on Ford. Fighters with more on Will Ford. Here's Sarah.
Well, Chris, the emergence of Nick Grigsby as well as the subsequent release of Will Ford has obviously worked out well so far for both of these clubs here tonight. Grigsby second in the league in rushing yards so far. He's also been a threat through the air with over 220 receiving yards and a touchdown. So he has been working out well for the Bombers, but Will Ford, how about the start that he has had with the Riders? They actually wanted to sign him when he was a free agent in the offseason, so they were quick to pick him up when he was released. Corey Chamberlain saying that he fits much better the scheme with his skill set, this offense, than what their previous backs did earlier this season.
He's quick, trying to get outside this time, and flags fly as he's brought down around the 25-yard line. 113 in his first game with the Roughriders and 74 yards in Ottawa on Saturday.
Yeah, you're averaging 93.5, by the way. That's a pretty good two-game average for Will Ford.
Holding call brings this back.
I think it was Rob Bagg.
Holding, Saskatchewan number 6, 10-yard penalty, still first down.
So penalties have been costly for the Roughriders on their first two possessions. Long field here. First and 20 back at their 11. And does the play get off? Somebody moved prematurely.
Procedure. Saskatchewan number 69, 5-yard penalty, still first down.
Corey Watman moved, and the crowd here is making a statement. First and 25, the draw play. Ford trying to work his way. Kowali in pursuit, and he'll drag him down at about the 16-yard line.
Big run for Will Ford because it gets the Saskatchewan Roughriders out of the shadow of their goalposts. They get at least a chance to punt the football if they can't get the first down. He made up the penalty yards. There were 2 of them so far on the series. But if they don't get this play out of Will Ford on this drive, they're looking at having to give up a safety.
10-plus yard carry for Will Ford. Durant throws the out. It's complete. Shillings his second catch, but short, as Chris Randall patrolling that side of the field with a quick tackle.
And Drew Willie now just takes the field position advantage unless get Josh Bartell here to punt the Saskatchewan Roughriders out of this trouble. But at least he gets an opportunity to punt, and that was because of the Will Ford run on well, what eventually was first down after 2 penalties.
Josh Bartell. Aaron Woods at his 44, and he finds a crease. Gets tripped up by Scott McHenry in Roughrider territory at the Saskatchewan 51-yard line. 15 on the return to center.
No fight broke out.
Teams marking their territory. And it looks like this will be a hard-fought defensive battle if the opening couple of series are any indication.
No, they're just 2 teams dancing right now. They'll start throwing haymakers pretty soon.
Bombers start at the Roughrider 50. They fake the sweep, go the other way, and it's Michel Pierre Aubryon. Good collision there, and he bounced off for an extra yard or 2 with his 4th catch of the season. The big fullback out of Laval.
We've seen some pads popping in this game already tonight. We talked about the rivalry, talked to the warm-up and what they did before introductions. What both these teams have to be careful with, though, is that they go back to fundamentals, make sure you tackle correctly. Macho Harris wants to hit the Aubryon as hard as he can, but doesn't wrap up. He's able to get a couple extra yards.
2nd and 2, Robbie Bryant and Rory Collard check back in. Grigsby play action, and it's a catch for Bryant. And a first down. Not much, but enough to move the chains.
I had to make a tough catch. It's not a long throw, but he has to make a tough catch because Drew Willie, he saw Weldon Brown in the back pocket there of Robbie Bryant, and a chance to cut underneath that if he doesn't put some heat on it. So he appreciates his the effort from his receiver.
Just the 4th catch for Bryant in his return to the Bombers. First down from the 38. This time it is Grigsby, and he gets dumped by the safety. Tyron Brackenridge was on the blitz and comes up with a tackle.
I asked Drew Willie yesterday in our meeting how much he can audible at the line, how much he can change plays at the line. He said, you know, we're working as the season goes on to do that a little bit more. And I mentioned the amount of blitzes that we see Tyron Brackenridge run, that oftentimes he'll come down low and he'll come off that edge on a blitz. He times it so well. There are opportunities when the safety leaves the middle in the passing game. Willie said we don't audible just yet, but we can get to it.
2nd and 9, and Corey Watson in the offensive formation. Willie double clutches, finds Kohler, and that should be a first down. It will be after the second effort. University of Saskatchewan product ripped up.
Well, Drew Willie does a great job of buying himself some time here. He just has that pocket presence well beyond his years of experience. Doesn't like what he sees initially. Receivers are covered, bounces around a little bit, finds a hole in a throwing lane, steps up into that throwing lane, and then across the field over there to Rory Kohler.
So 1st and 10. 4 receivers to the near side. Now Pombrion comes in to help block, and Willie throws the corner route, and a stride too far for the intended target, Clarence Denmark.
Macho Harris made this, had to be a perfect throw. Corner route here by Clarence Denmark, and he's got a step, but again, we've seen Macho Harris a couple times tonight in that trail position. He's not panicking there. He knows that throw's got to go up and over and into the bucket for Denmark for that to be a completion. It wasn't absolutely perfect, so Macho Harris gets the win there.
So 2nd and 10, and Corey Watson, back for the first time after missing 5, is on this play as well, but they're not going to get it off. John Chick, 2nd sack of the night, and now matching his season total of 2013 with 8.
Well, they'll move him around and get John Chick on different matchups. He starts out at end. We usually see him go up the field, but this time he crosses all the way in behind the interior of the defensive line and then comes up through the A gap right through the middle, right between center and guard to the backside of the formation for John Chick, his 2nd sack.
So Liram Hairolahu comes on, 15 of 16. And money again. From 41 yards out, his 8th consecutive field goal. And late in this opening quarter, this game is tied.
The only defensive player to do that ever since they've been tracking tackles.
Riders take over at the 35. Durant looked one way and now will throw it away. Darren Durant last week was 19 of 25, and he threw a few away in that game. He was almost pinpoint all night long.
And the passing game took a real major step last week against Ottawa. Threw for 294 yards and was pulled early in that game, so would have got to the 300 mark had he gone wire to wire.
Last visit here, he had to run 8 times for 93 yards. 2nd and 10. Pocket collapses. They take off here. And slides after a short gain, not much there, and avoided a big hit. And it's a 2-and-out for the Roughriders.
Show you a player that when we talked about him to Mike O'Shea yesterday, he just couldn't say enough good things about this linebacker and Ian Wild. Watch how he just reads the eyes of Durant, stays underneath everything to make it real tough for him to try and throw it into traffic, and then he tracks him down, gets to there, and he'll get credit for the tackle as well. Flying around the football, and he has been flawless this season.
Line drive punt, and Woods came across to knock it down. That was a good play by Woods when it looked like Bartel had driven it right down the field, down the sidelines.
Great stat by Steve Daniel this week where I looked at Ian Wild in over 400 plays in both special teams and defense, has not committed one foul. He does not have a penalty.
So penalties up by 5 a game, but you can't blame Ian Wild for that.
But that's being a professional. That's being a guy who's flying around making things happen. Tackles on the special teams, playing as well as he is on defense, but doing it without making those mistakes, not getting lazy and grabbing somebody.
Should be the final play, first quarter. And a pass over the middle is complete for a first down. Clarence Denmark with the catch. Wrestled down by Brackenridge. Chains moving. Good, fast-paced first quarter. Riders struck first. Bombers answered as they trade field goals in the opening 15 minutes at Investors Group Field.
Game goes on, but I'm watching that bottom stat there with John Chick. When the Riders played the Ottawa Redblacks, we tracked it. How many times John Chick was double teamed, and was well over 75% of the defensive plays that he was in. I haven't seen the Bombers do that yet tonight. They're going to have to.
Redblacks did keep Chick off the board last week, now up to a league-leading 8 sacks already. But the Bombers have a first down at the 48-yard line as we start the second quarter. Veteran Glenn January at one tackle, Cordero Howard at the other. Fake to Grigsby, Macho Harris on the blitz, and Willie avoids the sack and throws it away. Found out how strong Drew Willie was last week in that drive where it looked like Brian Bulkey might have had a sack to finish off the Bombers, and somehow stayed on his feet and got away a pass to Aaron Kelly to keep the memorable drive alive.
Yeah, on third down, and Aaron Kelly made the catch. Then Fioli Godino right after that put it on the doorstep.
2nd and 10 as the offense resets. Grigsby releases late. Here's the throw, and there is Aaron Kelly. Comes back for the football, but should have the first down. 2 100-yard games already this year, the first 2 of his career. He's become a favorite target for number 5.
Yes, he has. And a guy who is 2nd in the league in average per catch. So that tells you that he's getting up the field. He's a big play receiver all of a sudden. I think he's taken a huge step from his time with the Hamilton Tiger Cats and just his confidence level. And I talked to him about it yesterday. He looked at me and said, I asked him, what do you think it is and why have you taken this step in your progression? He said, Drew Willie. Said, I get in the huddle and the confidence that he exudes, we just pick it up and we take it from there. This is a confident quarterback, and it's infectious. Everybody else feels it.
Kelly in the top 10 in receiving, 9th in the league coming into this week. First down, here comes the Brackenridge blitz, and the handoff not going anywhere to Nick Grigsby. When we talked about that catch last week, and now Drew Willie avoids the sack to keep a drive alive.
This will be one that Brian Bulkey will think about for some time, but yeah, he fights it off, and what a catch by Aaron Kelly. 3rd down play, kept it alive. Remember, the Ticats had the lead at the time, got down to the goal line, and Nick Grigsby gives them a 1-point win when they kick the convert.
Grigsby stopped for a loss of 2. Here comes the heat again over the middle. It pops short of Grigsby, who was wide open over the middle.
Well, Brackenridge and his timing on these blitz, the timing is so good for him, and it was a race. Can Drew Willie get the ball in this spot right here before 41 gets there? And it's this quick. Hold it here, guys. Stop it right there. If Nick Grigsby picks that up, there is no one within 25 yards of him.
Iralahu, a short kick, gets a good bounce. And here's Tristan Jackson. Had the big missed field goal return last week, and he's got something on this punt return. Brought down just short of the 50-yard line. Corey Watson with the tackle. But Tristan Jackson, 35 yards on the punt return, after a 41 is brought to you by Purelator, tackling hunger across Canada. Check. And congratulations to folks in Calgary for a record-setting performance in donations last week.
It keeps going like this. We might call it the John Chick tally. 2 tonight already. 10 if you go back to the Grey Cup last year in the last 7 games. They better double team them.
Top 2 teams in the league in that department. They start at the 49, the Roughriders. Will Ford trying to bounce it out, and they'll rally to the football. Zach Anderson in the middle of it, the guy who had a lot to say about the Saskatchewan offensive line this week. The latest defensive player to say offensive linemen are dirty, and in particular the Saskatchewan Roughrider O-line.
Yeah, they didn't bite. They didn't really bite on that one. They just said, okay, well, let's go, line up and play. There's a lot that happens down there in those trenches. The best tonight.
2nd and 9. Quick hitter knocked down. Wally got up. And a knockdown to force the Rough Rider offense off the field again. Second 2 and out.
A lot of times offenses, if they want to get the quick throw to try and beat the blitz with a pass, they try and throw it wide. Both these teams are going to have to try and go down the middle on these quick passes. Get a hot pass over the middle. Maybe it's Getzlaff for Saskatchewan.
Great kick by Bartel outside the numbers, down around the 5. And Woods gets it back to about the 11-yard line. 53 on the boot, 5 on the return. See if Aaron Kelly and Drew Willie can stretch that Saskatchewan defense when we come back. Largest crowd ever. They've had sellouts here before, but have reconfigured the seating a little bit, and every seat taken, and maybe, don't tell the fire marshal, but maybe a few extras sold.
Secret safe with me. No issue
Procedure.
here.
Winnipeg number 68, 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
Cordero Howard moved early, and maybe John Chicks in the minds of that offensive line.
Certainly not the crowd when it's the home team with the football.
So now Michael O'Shea's team looks at a long field. 1st and 15, back at their 6. Macho Harris looking to blitz again. Here he comes. Willie gets rid of it quickly. Clarence Denmark gets away and gets a first down. Hooked up by Logan Brown, but Denmark makes yards after first contact.
Nice job by Denmark of keeping that low center of gravity. He knows he's going to get hit on this little curl. It's thrown in front of the defender, and then he just stays nice and low so he can bounce off that first hit, puts his hand down and maintain his balance. Yeah, picks up nice yards.
2nd in the league in 2nd down conversion catches with 11. That wasn't a 2nd down play, but a big one. And he had 4 2nd down conversion catches in Hamilton last week. This time a 3-man rush. Willie finds Grigsby on the sidelines. Another first down. And suddenly a lot of breathing room for the Bombers out at their 40.
Wow, this is a nice read by Drew Willie. He's going to go first to his primary read, which is in this direction. So he's looking there. That's his primary read. Then he goes back down the middle. Nothing there. So what's his third read? The dump pass to the sideline to Nick Grigsby. Through the progression for Drew Willie.
Grigsby number 2 among running backs in catches. And Willie going through his reads here. Pressure on. Got to throw it away. Ricky Foley turning up the heat.
One thing I noticed from the get-go with Drew Willie in his very first game, when he got the keys, it's different when you're a backup coming in to play for the veteran. But when he was told he was the leader here, he was going to be the franchise player in Winnipeg, and I saw him in that first game, I thought, it's remarkable how quick he's making the decisions in the pocket, when to move, when to get out of there, that imaginary clock that rolls in the head of a quarterback. Uncanny how good Drew Willie is at a young age.
Empty the backfield. Grigsby lines up as a running back. And Drew Willie, quarterback draw, has a first down. Sam hurled the tackle, but Willie runs it for 14 and moves the chains to 61 yards on the ground coming into the game. Not something he does often.
You saw how John Chick has been running some stunts here. He's going to try and run this one, but this time the center, Morley, picks him up nicely. Steve Morley's going to step out. He knows his quarterback draw, waits for Chick to come inside, and opens up a running lane for Drew Willie.
Up near midfield. Hand off to Grigsby. Nothing doing. Weldon Brown shot the gap and got in there quickly.
Both these teams like to run the football on first down as much as they can. They want to build off that run game. But if Saskatchewan continues to run blitz like they do on first down, they're bringing in guys like Weldon Brown, then Marcel Belfray is going to have to go to some more short passing game, intermediate passing game on first down, and then maybe look to run on second and short or medium.
Coming into this game, the Bombers ran 42% of the time on first down. Second and long here. One pump. Now delivers. And he threaded the needle to Clarence Denmark. What a throw. Tight window. And he connects with his favorite target, Clarence Denmark.
Well, we mentioned it at the break. Here's John Chick. Been causing all kinds of problems. So what does Winnipeg do? They decide, especially with three-man pressure, they're going to make sure that they double team him, get a guard on there to help the tackle, keep Chick away from Drew Willie. Now he can buy a few more seconds and threads the needle.
Third catch, 52 yards for Denmark. Another first down, and Willie has that one broken up. Rod Williams, quick close on the football that time.
You know, if Julian Fiole-Godino is not that close, Williams may have taken that back. Rod Williams, he had a great jump on the ball, but there was a little bit of traffic around him. It almost looked like he wasn't sure as he arrived to the football if he could cut underneath it. You see how there's 4 players in that same area, so he just stuck his hand out and made the safe play to knock it down.
Saw a couple of those last week in Calgary. Ronnie Yell, Keon Raymond. Here comes that Tyron Brackenridge blitz, overshoots it, flag down. Willie incomplete, intended for Robbie Bryant. Let's check the flags.
Right now, the answer for Winnipeg on this Tyron Brackenridge blitz is to pull the center.
Illegal contact on receiver. Saskatchewan number 35, Kenya Kelby, first down.
Well, the drive will continue. Weldon Brown.
Illegal contact away from the play. He gets a word from the leaders in Tyron Brackenridge. Here's the one-on-one. Weldon Brown got high, a little bit of contact, and Clarence Denmark went down.
This drive started on the Bomber 11. It backed up to the 6 after a penalty. We're now to the Rider 30-yard line. Grigsby with the cutback. Reversing field. And Rod Williams wouldn't let him by. Brackenridge takes him down when it looked like the field was opening up a bit for the best athlete in the CFL.
You go back, just Grigsby is not being used to pick up that blitz from Brackenridge. I want to show you a couple of plays ago, just because this is going to come into play as this game goes on. Brackenridge coming on the blitz, and the way they're blocking it right now is with center Steve Morley. He's coming out of there and trying to get there. He's going to have some problems with that because of the timing. They need to block Grigsby on Brackenridge.
Second down, Robbie Bryant at the 20. See where the forward progress is. Ball popped out after the whistle. It looks like it's enough for another Bomber first down.
Take another look at it here. Did he have the football in his possession when he was down by contact? Has it there? How's it there? And the ball comes out when he rolls onto his back.
Ripped out at the end by Rod Williams. Sticks come out. That's short. Corey Chamberlain getting word from upstairs on whether or not this should be challenged.
Elbow is the first to touch. It looked like down by contact.
No challenge from the Roughriders. And now 3rd and 1. Robert Marv into the game. These haven't been automatic for the Bombers. 3rd and inches. Marv off the right side, and he's got it and a lot more. Purdue product ends up with close to 5.
Yeah, Purdue goes and follows Laval in the CIS. Tight end, Pierre Palmerion. He's going to be that tight end, and he's drive blocking right there in front of your screen, and right behind him is Marv. Purdue right in behind Laval.
They missed one a few weeks ago and went right back to the drawing board. And now Marv's going to stay into the game. Well, that's interesting. Go double tight ends. Marv in, fakes to Cotton, rolls to the near side, escapes. There is a flag, and Marv stepped out. Sam Hurl forces him out. And Drew Willie will check back in. Nothing unusual about Marv coming on for 3rd and short, but a little surprising based on the success of the drive that Willie stayed on the sidelines at extra play.
Well, clearly the Bombers have put together a package for Marv where it's more of that sort of speed option run package.
Illegal contact on receiver. Saskatchewan number 95. Half the distance for goal. Automatic first down.
Another one. Ricky Foley charged this time. These are the 2 least penalized teams. But first Weldon Brown and now Ricky Foley, who isn't sure why the call is made.
Now Foley's got a receiver coming out of the backfield, and he collars him as he's trying to release, spins him around, and then goes after Marv.
So Willie back into the game. 1st and goal, Bombers. Fake to Grigsby, pressure on. Willie steps up, touchdown.
Real drive.
Yards last week, 99 yards tonight.
Last week he had to beat a sack. This week he does it as well. That one on Ricky Foley. Makes Foley miss. Finds Pater.
Officially 13 plays, 99 yards in just over 6 minutes. But again, they backed up to the 6. So they traveled 104 en route for the first major of the night. Iralahu, the extra point, and Drew Willie has his first touchdown as a Winnipeg Blue Bomber.
Sam Hurl's the middle linebacker. I'll show you why he's not there to make the tackle, because Nick Grigsby ends up coming out of the backfield here and he releases. You see him release out of the backfield there. Hurl's got to go and cover him. When he covers him in the man-to-man situation, now it's just a one-on-one, and Willie beats Ricky Foley.
2 carries, 21 yards on the drive for Drew Willie. Bombers have their first lead of the night. Iralahu with the boot that's going to bounce out. An illegal kick. Good field position for Saskatchewan. Let's check in with Sarah Oleski.
One of the players looking to make an impact here tonight, Chris, is Riders receiver Ryan Smith, a rookie receiver from North Dakota. So his parents, along with 6 parents of former teammates from his North Dakota State University team, have made the drive up here. It's a 5-hour drive. Now, how is this for some lofty comparisons for Smith? He's been called the Dressler clone ever since they signed him, with Weston Dressler also having been from North Dakota. Corey Chamberlain saying that Smith is still adjusting to the game, but they see a lot of similarities between the two. Smith's speed being one of his greatest assets.
Looks like Mom wants him in the offense right now.
Doesn't every mom? You know, it's true, and that Boy, that comparison has been made, was in training camp, and my sources in Kansas City tell me that Dressler's in tough there, so Ryan Smith's got to make something happen. He does get a chance to get on the field. All these young receivers do. Dressler may be coming back.
2nd and 6. Durant sets up. He's got Getzlaf open and a first down catch in Bomber territory at the Winnipeg 43.
Well, I think this is one of the toughest throws for a quarterback to make in our game because the field being so wide, it's the second layer of a 3-layer route where you get the first one underneath. That's the easier throw, obviously the shorter throw. He's standing in the middle of the field, has to go up over the linebacking core and drop it in front of the defensive secondary.
Now Will Ford inside, short gain as Pete traps him up. You know, there was Durant and Getzlaf, the familiar connection. It was interesting to hear Drew Willie yesterday from his vantage point watching the Roughriders this year and noticing how Darian Durant was missing Chris Getzlaf, throwing the spots on the field that Getzlaf would be in, but the other Roughrider receivers weren't.
You could see the difference when he arrived back in the lineup in Ottawa. Trying to lean on him again now.
2nd and 8. Different looking Gary Echeverry formation. Durant in trouble. Ducked underneath. And he'll get it to the sidelines and batted down. Rob Bagg was open for a short time, but Matt Buckner with the breakup.
Will Ford tried to get the block that Durant needed, but he left his feet. When he dove like this, he got in trouble because he couldn't get up. He got pushed aside. As he kind of leaned into it, lost his balance, got pushed aside, and then that put Durant in trouble.
So third down, field goal unit comes on, and
it's a long one.
This will be a 48-yarder. It would match the season best for Chris Milo. And it is going to be wide. Devon Washington is bringing it out. And he'll be contained out at the 7-yard line. Levi Steinauer was downfield, and Kevin Regenbald as well. Another long field for Drew Willie, but the Bombers have the lead.
To join the band, I'm not sure.
Resplendent, as always. Be upset if we called them Disco Milk, wouldn't he? Grigsby the handoff and wrestled down immediately. Terrius George, who also had a sack in each of the first 4 games and was held off the board against Ottawa with a tackle for a loss here.
Bomber fans thought there was a face mask here, but I think Tay George just put his hand on the top of the helmet of Grigsby. Not sure if he ever got to the mask.
Good non-call. Grigsby's lost 7 yards in his last 4 carries, and here comes the heat. Quick hitter, incomplete, intended for Grigsby, who was tracked by the safety. The Roughriders wanted a 2-and-out deep. And Winnipeg's into the field, they get it, and they'll have plenty of time to work with it.
You know, I know Michael O'Shea and his background in special teams and how he loves to be aggressive, and I'm sure he gave Devon Washington the option that if he saw it, and this field goal was wide, the last field goal by Milo went wide, that he had the option to take it out, but the decision may cost him more than the single on the missed field goal.
Iralahu boots it away. Not a deep kick. Tristan Jackson at the Bomber 44, and he'll take it down to the Winnipeg 35-yard line, already in field goal range.
Yeah.
Just a 40-yard punt, 8 on the return.
And a minute and 40 is plenty of time. I mean, Darian Durant doesn't even have to force the issue here. He can run the regular offense and tie this game at halftime. And again, you got to believe that with O'Shea's background, he's given Devon Washington on that early missed field goal the option.
substitution. Saskatchewan at 13 men in their formation. This is a 10-yard penalty. Still first down.
Wow.
Well, they were in field goal range. Costly penalty.
At the wrong time.
Might still be in Milo range, but they're thinking about more than that right now. First and 20, the 45-yard line. And not much for Jerome Messam into the game. Tripped up by Bryant Turner. A couple of sacks for Turner last year in the Banjo Bowl. We mentioned 8 for Winnipeg in that game.
Riders don't convert here. It bails Mike O'Shea and Damon Washington out on electing to bring it out and getting caught deep.
Riders have gone field goal, 4 punts and a missed field goal. Here in this opening half, staring at 2nd and 19. Durant time, across the middle, incomplete. Chaz Schillens can't make the catch. And that 13-man in the huddle penalty is going to make Chris Milo work for it. Or are they even going to try it?
Yeah, may be just out of his range, and this is just a throw that gets away from Darian Durant. He has the lane to step up in, and it looks like no one in his face got an open. Schillens coming across the middle, just underthrows him.
They've reset here, Bartel in punt formation. And that kick hit a foot downfield. That would be no yards anyway. Corey Watson pounces on it, and from great field position in field goal range to giving the Bombers the ball back, no worse than their own 25-yard line.
Let's see who this hit, and if it hit a Bomber, there was a rider right beside him.
So anyway,
so it's going to be no yards.
No yards. Saskatchewan number 31, 15-yard penalty.
Yeah.
First down.
That's what I was wondering. Did it skip hop to him, or did it hit him in the air?
It's certainly not on Hurl, who couldn't have anticipated.
No, it was just a poor kick. But if this ball bounces, it's the 5-yard penalty.
It's actually Paul Waldo. It's 21, not 31.
But it hit him on the fly, 15-yard penalty, and now Drew Willie has time to get field goal range here.
First down at the 35. And out of the backfield, there is Grigsby. First down, steps out. In front of Brian Peters. He'll stop the clock with 62 seconds.
Well, that penalty costly for Saskatchewan Roughriders. George Cortez was very upset with it, and I'm not surprised. It's mismanaged the last minute and 40 of this half. Unless their defense can bail them out.
Bombers made Hamilton pay late in the game last week. Back-to-back 2-and-outs at the end of the game to buy enough time for them to drive the field. And there's 7 to Grigsby, and they're at midfield, 2nd and 3. And Willie told us yesterday he loves hurry up at the end of games, end of halves, likes the challenge of these situations. That is incomplete, and the intended target, Robbie Bryant. Now Winnipeg has to kick the ball away.
Well, that's what good teams do. You know, both these teams have seen, you know, a mistake happen here or there, but a teammate bail out the offense, or in this case, Saskatchewan Roughrider defense bailing out mismanagement of the last minute 40. Getting the stop because Willie was 1st down and a half away from field goal range.
Ira Lahu to punt it away. Jackson, 14-yard line. Up beyond the 20. So we'll see what the Roughriders do with this last 37 seconds.
Well, let's give you a nice shot here of a guy who starts middle linebacker, has gone over 400 plays without a penalty, covers the kicks, hustles down the field, 40 yards, gets in on the tackle on Tristan Jackson, will catch his breath and go start on defense.
He had an errant long snap last week. I asked, when was the last time that happened? He said, I've been a long snapper my whole career. First one since grade 10 that he let get away. They're in the red. Running out of the pocket. And a feet-first slide up at the 30-yard line. And that's 7 for Durant with a half-minute left.
They were looking to take a shot there at Chris Getzlaff down the field. Brett Swain, who had a better game against Ottawa. He was running the deep route there. Durant just couldn't find him. Good coverage downfield.
Last 2 weeks, George Cortez and that Roughrider attack had put teams away against Toronto and Ottawa by halftime. Not tonight. Not training. Second down, Durant too high for Messam out of the backfield. So the punt team will come on. And that should just about do it here in the opening half. Had 24 first quarter points last week.
Mike O'Shea may just load it up here and see if he can get this blocked. He's got 11 on the line of scrimmage and a late guy for Saskatchewan coming in.
Roughriders were short one. Brian Peters checks in late. Bartel gets it away. Woods at his 34, and he will step out with zeros on the clock. The old rivalry is back on the boil. Roughriders start first, but the Bombers lead 10-3 as we check in with Rod and Paul Lapalisse.
Thank you, Chris, with the GMC Coaches Playbook. And yes, defense really.
To try and control John Chick. I don't think you can stop him. Well, you can try and control him a little bit with double teams and maybe getting a running back like Nick Grigsby to chip him as he leaves the backfield.
Both teams have feasted off the East so far this year. Riders looking for their first win over a Western opponent. Bombers trying to go to 2-1 against the West. Hairolahu kicks it off, and it'll be Tristan Jackson fielding it at his 14-yard line. And angled out just short of the 30. Darian Durant needs a bigger second half.
The mentor gets first shot in the second half. Yeah, he's got to improve on these numbers. Real low for him considering what they did offensively and in the passing game last week against Ottawa. It's a real surprise for me is that Drew Willie outrushed Durant. Really more of a pocket passer, can move around in the pocket, but also has a rushing touchdown.
You wonder if Durant's going to have to take off to help stretch that defense a little bit. They'll hand it off to the big man. Jerome Messam starts the second half in the backfield.
Interesting there, too. Remember that one play where we showed you Will Ford trying to make a block and he kind of got off balance and pushed out of the way. I'm wondering Messam is getting some more reps because they want to shore up the protection possibly for Durant in the passing game.
Second and about 6.5. Looking to the wide side, wants Rob Bagg and has him. Forward progress to 40. That's going to be a yard short. Well, they give him a good spot. Maybe a half-yard short for Rob Bagg, who had 6 catches, 123 yards last week. Leading receiver for Saskatchewan.
Gets inside of a yard, then they will take a measure. So they're going to bring the chains in. Take a look at the forward progress of Rob Bagg there.
Bruce Johnson tossed him back, but you could see him get across the 40-yard line. A few chain lengths short. Great start to the season for Rob Bagg. 12 catches, or 12th in the league with 238 yards. And the short yardage team with Tino Sinceri will come on.
Yeah, number one, as you mentioned, number one receiver in the entire league last week. Number 6. Corey Robin just went and reported that an eligible number, being an eligible position with an ineligible number.
Crowd making noise. And play halted by the line judge, Adam Hines.
Illegal procedure. Saskatchewan number 68. The center moves the ball forward. This is a 5-yard penalty.
That's a costly penalty. It'll take the short yardage team off, and the punt team has to come on.
Mike O'Shea was watching something. He's gonna walk up to the official and suggest that there might be some movement of that football. Watch, see, he called that one. The coach got in the ear of the official, said they're moving the football around. They're not allowed to do that.
So Bartel to boot it away. Aaron Woods driven back to his 21. And trying to get outside. Sam Hurl. And a good contact by Spencer Moore to bring down Woods at the 28.
Let's take a look at what the two running backs did in the first half. Will Ford against Nick Grigsby. Grigsby doubled the carries.
Grigsby lost 8 yards in his last 4 carries. And Will Ford didn't start the second half, so neither sending their game film in this week so far. Paris Cotton is in the offensive set for the Bombers along with Grigsby, and early movement here, and it's going against Winnipeg. So a sputtering start for both teams to start the second half.
Paris Cotton came in and was
Back down violation. Winnipeg number 5. This is a 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
They didn't even get the play off. And Cotton to the sidelines. Fioli Godino checked back in.
Yeah, you know, it was Paris Cotton. They're just trying to work that out because he really looked up and saw him, try to get him lined up properly. They didn't get it in time, and they'll take the 5-yard penalty.
1st and 15. Over the middle crosser, Romby Bryant. And Bryant dumped at the 34. Weldon Brown stepped up. So they get 10 back. It'll be 2nd and 5.
Drew really has, in this season so far, been great at the deep ball. And I'm sure Winnipeg fans are wondering, you know, when is he going to get to that? It's a time factor for him right now. He just doesn't have time to sit back there and throw the wall deep, so he's going with those crossers.
Unusual crosser because Aaron Kelly and Romby Bryant crisscrossed at the same time. Dumped off Grigsby. And he'll go down at the 39, and he's going to be close, but
he's upset with himself. You know why? Because he thought he already had it. He thought he had the first down and wasn't sure.
Didn't want to lose yards fighting for more.
Exactly. He didn't want to get pushed back. He thought he already had it where he caught the ball, basically turned around, thought if I just fall forward, I've already got the first down. Got up, looked, and thought, uh-oh, I might be short here.
And he is, not by much.
But that's, you know, running backs, they take great pride in making sure if they're that close that they go and get those few inches they need for the first down. But you see, I think he thinks he has it there, and then says, I don't want to lose yards and get pushed, so I'll just fall forward. And then looked up and went, oh. But it is just a couple of chain links.
Marr back in. Jumbo team in front of him. And another good push. He got 5 the first time. Gets 2.5 this time. And Michael O'Shea again, they went right back to the drawing board with the short yardage team a couple of weeks ago, and all that work's paid off.
What I like about Robert Marr, the way he does that short yardage play, is how he keeps his feet driving. He doesn't just take the ball, find a hole, and lunge to it. He drives his legs and keeps pushing the pile. And he's picked up pretty good yards, 3 or 4 yards on those.
Saw Nick Moore on the sidelines. May be available next game. Short week against Toronto.
Because, you know, there's really an art to this, and they work on it, and a coach loves when you actually focus on something in practice and work on it. Go, there's the payoff right there. Short yardage. We needed a few inches. We got a few yards. Grigsby got up limping a little bit on that last one.
Got 3 on his last carry. Been hard-fought yards tonight. 2nd and 7. Willie, wide open. Fiole Gadino has a first down. Into Rider territory, dropped at the 51. Winnipeg was 7 of 15 in second down conversions in the first half.
Well, the difference between Fiole Gadino with confidence and Fiole Gadino as a young guy without confidence is this. When he runs this little out from the 3 spot right here, now hold it right there, guys, for just a second. A guy without confidence heads that way. A guy with confidence puts the brakes on, go ahead, run it, cuts back into the middle, and tries to pick up some positive yards. There's the difference.
6 catches, 76 yards last week, 14 on that grab. Willie with Chick in pursuit, threw it away. John Chick with another hurry.
I think when John Chick stood beside Sarah, his right arm is heavier than her. I mean, that guy is a load to try and handle.
Mentioned it last week, a little bit upset that he was only number 50 on the top 50. He's been number 1 among defenders this season. Clarence Denmark can't make the catch, and the Bomber drive stalls.
Textbook coverage by Weldon Brown there. Underrated player, 16 tackles coming in, and Brown, I talked to Baron Miles before the game about who his best cover guy was in the secondary, and he said between Terrell Mays and Weldon Brown, 1 and 1A.
Iralahu to punt it away. Tristan Jackson awaits at the Rider 10. High snap by Wild, pulled down. And that punt will bounce out inside the 20. So Iralahu gets the job done. Can Chris Getzlaff and the Roughriders offense get traction here in the second half in Winnipeg? First down, Roughriders. Messam released from the backfield. It's Spencer Moore with the catch. And he is brought down quickly by Matt Buckner at the 25. First catch of the year for the McMaster product, Spencer Moore.
Yet another tackle for Matt Buckner on the wide side corner. That gets him closing in on 30. Teams have tested him early in the year, and he's answered the bell.
2nd and 3. Side, Rob Baggs got the catch. There's Buckner with another tackle, but it's Saskatchewan first down.
It's like Darian Durant's tuned it in a little bit. He was a little off in that first half. Accuracy wasn't quite what we're used to. Certainly wasn't Darian Durant from the Ottawa game just a few days ago. So the second half put that one right on the 6.
He had 75 passing yards the first series against Ottawa. 70 in the game tonight. And that Rider offense is walking backwards again.
Illegal substitution. Saskatchewan at 13 men on the field. It's a 10-yard penalty. We'll repeat the deck.
Two times too many.
Well, you knew it was going to have to come up at some point, but well documented now, the issues with Kai Schmidt and whether or not that may be a distraction for this football team.
Chaz Schillens being talked to. The replacement for Smith on the sidelines. They go double tight ends. Pressure on, and Durant hit. Ball loose, the ruling incomplete. Jason Vega around the horn to hit Durant from the backside.
Yeah, he comes from a long way. Out and around the edge, just sort of a lookout, and not picked up by Jerome Messam. So both Will Ford and Messam having issues in the backfield, protecting the backside for Darian Durant. Doesn't have time to hit an open receiver.
Arm was going forward. No challenge from the Robbers. 2nd and 20. Heat on again. Roughriders brings it down. He'll be short. Look at Teague Sherman try to punch it out of there. Bag held on, but they'll be well short of the first with a 13-yard connection.
You know how we often talk about how sometimes quarterbacks start seeing shadows a little bit and they start feeling the pressure even sometimes when it might not be there. Watch Durant here on this throw. He's kind of feeling the pressure from the last play, and he's leaning away from it. Guys coming right down the main street in his face, and Jason Vega once more. He has to throw that, falling back and away from that pressure.
This time Devon Washington back. That ball bouncing out, so no return. It'll be Winnipeg football at their 38 after a 39-yard punt. Drew Willie back to work. Successful with a little bit more. Here's Sarah Orlesky.
Well, Chris, obviously a lot of things have impressed Mike O'Shea and the coaching staff here at the Bombers that Drew Willie has done so far in this season. Among them, how incredibly prepared he is. He loves to watch film. He says he appreciates the chess match that goes on in games, but he takes it a step further. It isn't just that he's breaking down a lot of film. He tells me that he keeps notebooks on all of the offensive coordinators in this league, the tendencies that their offenses run schemes, and it's an idea that he picked up from Peyton Manning when he spent some time with the Colts organization.
Working against Richie Hall's D tonight. Here's Grigsby picking his way across the 40 to the 44.
Yeah, it's interesting that Drew Willie will take a guy like George Cortez, who he worked with last year in Saskatchewan, and keep notes on exactly what he likes to do, how he runs offenses, and do that with every coordinator that he's worked with, and then try and sort of formulate how it works with what he's doing now and continue to try and find ways to move the chains. I think that's outstanding.
2nd down. Over the middle, incomplete, almost intercepted on another tip, just short of Tyron Brackenridge. So the Bombers will have to punt. Interesting that he does keep a journal, in that we talked to Coach Michael O'Shea about his approach in his first year as a head coach, and he planned to keep a journal, but it's empty. Hasn't had time to make any entries.
Yeah, the coach has been way too busy to make entries, but he's got a whole bunch of sticky notes all over the place. He said that at some point he's going to put in the book.
Ira Lahu. Tristan Jackson. Ian Wild down in a hurry, but Jackson escapes and then gets kept down by Deja Dunn. A late flag tossed on the play. We approach the 10-minute mark of this 3rd quarter. Most of the flags going against Saskatchewan tonight.
After the play, major foul, unnecessary roughness, Saskatchewan number 43, 15-yard penalty, 1st down.
Kevin Reichenbald gets the call. Riders will start a little deeper in their own zone.
When the Rider coaching staff upset with the penalties, and they should be. There's Kevin Reichenbald on the very back side of the play. The play is done and over, and he takes a shot. That's a bad decision. And the correct call was made.
The difference in the penalty department. Jerome Messam off the right side again. Messam has taken over 2nd half at the running back spot.
That's interesting.
The ever-changing running back spot.
Yeah, and we're not getting any reports that Will Ford is injured. I did show you the block issue he had early in the first half, early in this game. Jerome Messam has missed a couple. We know that the coaching staff has benched the back when he fumbles.
2nd and 2. The freight train straight ahead into the secondary. And the top Canadian a few years back, Jerome Messam, rumbles for his best gain as a Rough Rider, 23 yards. He came in with 3 carries, 14 yards on the season.
2 great down back blocks from Dominic Picard and Chris Best up front, and then Ben Heenan gets the kick out. Here comes the down blocks here, and then they go.
They're going hurry up, and the flag flies as the snap to Durant. See who this is against.
Darren Durant's talking to the officials about wanting to keep.
Offside. Saskatchewan number 2, 5-yard penalty. Goes down.
He wanted to keep the personnel on the field so that the Bombers could substitute.
Well, it's one thing after another from too many men in the huddle to trying to get a little momentum in the hurry up and going offside. Also a procedure call on 3rd and less than a yard. Nobody there. Flag down. Ryan Smith with the catch. Up at the 52. Hands to the face, the preliminary indication. Who's it going against? And the Bombers getting the options, and Mike O'Shea says take them back.
Major foul, face mask, Saskatchewan number 57. The penalties enforced from the end of the play, back 15 yards, second down.
Former Bomber, Brendan Labatt.
Again, the officials bang on here. This call has to be made. Brendan Labatt's got the left hand up in the face of Bomber. Not only that, but doesn't let go of the face mask of Brian Turner.
Immediately, Brett Swain, his first catch of the night. And the safety, Mo Leggett, on the scene in a hurry.
Well, the plan for Durant, he knows that he can't block everybody up front, so he's got to get the ball out there and hope that Swain can make one guy miss. Here comes the pressure from Demond Washington. That pressure cannot be blocked. There's a void in the middle. He just wants to get the ball out of his hands, and then it's a one-on-one because he can't block that guy off the edge. Now, can Swain make a miss? He can't.
Got a challenge flag coming out. So is there a pass interference call there that would give the Rough Riders an automatic first down?
Looked like the timing was.
Saskatchewan is challenging the previous play. They believe it was a pass interference. The play will be reviewed.
Well, that is the ruling, that if it is pass interference, it's automatic first down. Illegal contact is not. I thought the timing live was good by Maurice Leggett. Let's take one more look here. Crossing route, ball's in the air, in his hands as he's being hit.
And there can be pass interference on a catch. Swain hangs on. Only 2 of these pass interference challenges have been overturned.
Both were no calls.
And I don't think we're going to see a third here.
No, we're not. I'd be shocked if you see one here.
That's perfect timing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Brett Swain, student of the Jeff Garcia clinics. Good to have Jeff Garcia back in the league.
Didn't take long here.
Upon review, the ruling on the field is confirmed. It is an incomplete pass. There was no forward pass interference. Incomplete pass, third down.
I'm surprised that Corey Chamberlain challenged that, and this point in the game, lose a challenge like that on a play that is so close.
Bartel's boot on a Hop Woods. steps out in front of Legree. Been a defensive battle tonight. Nobody tougher than big number 97, who's left an imprint on this defensive battle.
But there are the numbers. Again, really out rushing Darian Durant as well. He may have to take off and run a little bit in this as we go into this fourth quarter.
14 play, 99-yard drive. The difference in the football game tonight. Richie Hall and Gary Echeverry getting the better of George Cortez and Marcel Belfay so far tonight. Paris Cotton into the game, and not much up the middle. Weldon Brown was there.
They tried to bring in Romby Bryant to block John Chick and help out on that running play on that side. And he just ran over it.
So back in 2nd and long, 2nd and 9 for the Bombers. Cotton releases. Willie in trouble. Terrius George. Ball loose. And it's scooped up. And it's a score. David Lee. Touchdown. Roughriders.
I stand corrected that it was actually David Lee that on the first play was double teamed and beat that to stop the run, and then on the second play he gets upfield. He's going to get the fumble here created by Tay George, scoops it, rolls, is not touchdown by contact, and goes.
Former Argo, Western Ontario Mustang David Lee, who had 2 sacks last week. First Canadian Football League touchdown. And fitting that a defensive player would score the first touchdown of the night for the Roughriders.
Seen all kinds of stunts like this all night long, where you get just the twist of the interior defensive lineman, and George comes, wraps around. Morley picks him up late, can't hold him off. He hits Drew Willie right in the chest, and that's when the ball comes out. David Lee, back-to-back good plays just to get up the field, turn around, react, and was not touched.
Second forced fumble for Terrius George. And what did John Chick tell Sarah Orleski? We need a turnover.
Got it. Lee had a couple sacks last week, too, against Ottawa.
I just want to say hi to all my family back in the Greater Toronto area. I want to say hi to my wife, who's up in the stands. It's my first touchdown. I think I like that.
That was very cordial of him, too, the way he did it.
Very polite.
Yes.
10 points off turnovers. Game tied at 10.
First down, it looked like John Chick. He surprised me. He looked a little bit like Chick. He's 91, not 97.
Javon Washington fake the reverse. Little shake and bake on Ainsworth, and then fumbles the football. Still loose. Big pile up. Looks like the Roughriders got on it. Man, it's taking a long time to unpile. A lot of people had a shot at it. The Roughriders got it.
Paul Waldo created it.
And is that Chaz Schillens at the bottom of the pile?
Waldo shoots out here to get contained and then reaches in. And with his right hand, he's going to pop the ball out. U of S product.
And 81 does come up with the football at the end of this play.
Good corner from the University of Saskatchewan, and it's another back-to-back big plays and another turnover.
TSN turning points.
Good set it down for this Bomber defense.
hands of Messam. To the 18, Damon Washington trying to atone in on the tackle. Bombers the only team that have won games this year when losing the turnover battle. In fact, they've done it 3 times completely against the rub.
Some wonder where if that may catch up to them. We'll see.
2nd and 4. Messam again breaks the first tackle and has a first down to the 10. There's another new running back in town.
Well, and a different look. Wow. I mean, Hugh Charles, Will Ford, Anthony Allen, that's one thing. This is, you just went from sports cars to a Mack truck.
6 for 49 in limited duty. 1st and goal. Messam's number again. Plows to the 5.
Bomber defense is trying to hit Jerome Messam high, and he's winning that battle right now.
Hard to believe he sat by the phone for weeks. Top Canadian in the league. Had to wait for a call. Finally got it. July 8th from Saskatchewan. 2nd and goal. Time. Open man, drop back, cut down immediately. Chris Randall perfects the touchdown. And now 3rd and goal. At the end of the 3rd quarter, so Corey Chamberlain will have a little extra time to decide whether he's in a gambling mood. Take one more look at the completion to Bag, but what a quick close from Randall, setting up 3rd down. Saskatchewan now with the field goal team on to kick themselves into the lead.
Yeah, for the Bombers, the wow, what just happened stat were the turnovers, but Jerome Messam starting to get things going along the ground for Saskatchewan Roughriders. He had 7 touches for 54 yards, just 32 yards of offense for the Bombers in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, that's a big difference. Drew Willie had the advantage in a defensive game. Corey Chamberlain not going to take any chances here. Chris Milo on the field, and he'll try a 10-yard field goal to give the Roughriders their 2nd lead of the night, if successful.
You like to call Coach Cuthbert, or you think you would go for it down here?
I think in a game like this,
take the points.
Take the points.
Absolutely.
And they take the lead. So first the fumble recovery by David Lee for a touchdown, then Damon Washington gives up the ensuing kickoff, and suddenly 10 straight points, and all 13 for the Roughriders tonight off turnovers. So Coach O'Shea wants his team to hit the reset button here.
Coach O'Shea wants to reboot the offense. A little more Nick Grigsby, screen draws, try and get him out in space. That's one thing Drew Willie told us yesterday, that he does well running between the tackles, but one thing that they love to do, Marcel Belfay, the offensive coordinators, they get him out there those little swing passes so he can make some moves. A pregame feature on Grigsby, outstanding about how athletic he is.
Washington does not go back for this kick return. It will be Paris Cotton along with Woods, and Aaron Woods has it. Up to the 35-yard line, and now Drew Willie in the trail position here, early 4th quarter. Had only 3 points in the showdown against Edmonton, the last home game, and said he took that personally. Let's see how he responds here in the 4th quarter after the offense got bogged down in the 3rd. Paris Cotton in the backfield once again. And Willie airing it out, and Kohler's got it! What a remarkable catch by Rory Kohler.
It's a beauty. Outstanding concentration from Rory Kohler on the corner route. He takes a couple of shots at it. Macho Harris in great position. Look at this concentration. Hang on, fight it, bring it down. What a catch.
And secure it with Brackenridge all over him. 31 yards for Kohler. Into Rider territory. Quick hitter. Caught by Denmark at the 40. The University of Saskatchewan product with a highlight reel effort.
See Macho Harris go up and distract him, and I mean, Drew Willie put it right on his hands, but Kohler had lost sight of the football with Harris in front of him. Brackenridge on his back and comes up with it. That's big.
Didn't have a catch last week, but that's a beauty. And now 2nd and 4, Bombers. Willie, look out. John Chick again. 3rd of the night for 97.
Good matchup, and this time with January, the veteran, trying to hold him off. John Chick swats his arms down, his hands down, and once that tackle gets his hands down like that, he loses his balance and he's in trouble.
Takes him out of field goal range. Hairolahu for the corner, and he is long with it. It's a single point. Well, wait a minute, we got a flag. Couple flags here. Would be Tureen trying to get one of the riders out of there, Tristan Jackson. Find out what this is all about. And Jackson's not a guy that usually loses his cool.
Well, in a game like this, both coaches don't want any of their players losing their cool. I guarantee you that.
And what are the options for the Bombers? And a penalty apparently against the Riders. Checking with Michael O'Shea to figure out what they're going to do with it. And here comes the announcement.
After the play was over, major foul, unnecessary roughness, Saskatchewan number 37. Back 15 yards, 1st down, a single was scored in the play.
So they are calling it a single point. They're saying it's Rod Williams. And the ball will be 1st down at the 20. When we come back, and there is the hit by Williams. 11 Roughriders. After the penalty, they start at their own 20. Big 33 in the backfield. As the running back for the Darian Durant-led offense. Back in his hands, and they swarm to mess him and contain him. Short gain on 1st down this time.
This defense getting pressure throughout the year. They ranked 2nd coming into the season. Gary Echeverry's defense with 20 sacks. Greg Peach had a couple last week. He's been pretty quiet in this one tonight. So this is about the time when Greg Peach started making plays against Hamilton.
To the 30-yard line. 13 for Durant to move the chains.
Ejiro Kuali got caught here, and it's a tough situation to be in. Watch as Durant gets out around the edge. Go ahead and run it, guys. He's going to get caught covering his man, and then having to make the decision, okay, stop it right here. There's Kuali. Now he's rushing.
3rd carry, 20 yards, and a pass for Getzlaff. Catch close to another 1st down.
There's Kuali now. He's trying to figure out, do I come back and stop him short, or do I stay with my man? And Kuali just is in between. He doesn't have his guy covered, and he doesn't get Durant in time.
It is a first down catch for Getzlaff. Riders up at their 44. Messam straight ahead. And he crashes up around the 53-yard line. Somebody came in late, almost looked like the ball might have come loose, but it is another good first down run for Jerome Messam.
Big old line for Saskatchewan now, starting to get a good push.
Playing their game, Corey Watman lines up at a tight end spot along with Spencer Moore. It's Messam again. And a first down at midfield and across the 55 into Winnipeg territory.
Jerome Messam needs to have a rest now.
And Will Ford checks in, I believe, for the first time in the second half.
Yeah, right. And only because Jerome Messam needs to go catch his breath, get a quick drink of water. He's overheating over there.
Getting in game shape in a hurry. Come on, Washington blitzing. Ford gets away. And Will Ford with a good run as the #1 run team in the league starts to move the chains.
Well, that's frustrating for defense when you know the offense is going to run the football and there's nothing you can really do about it. It didn't matter if it was Jerome Messam who was going north-south or Will Ford on that play to bounce it the way he did. Puts him in second and a yard or less.
The Riders going to be right on or above their average in rushing totals. 122 on the night. They average 125.6. Teague Sherman, the dime backer for the Bombers, has been shaken up, getting attention. So we will step aside 5.5 minutes into the Derek Jones into the game. Rookie out of Simon Fraser, 4th rounder, whose dad was part of the Edmonton Eskimos dynasty. So we all feel a little bit older as Derek Jones steps in for the injured Teague Sherman.
Look at his eyes. Getting a chance to play here, going, okay, time to buckle up. Jerome Messam's going downhill.
Second and short. Messam, the freight train again. Plows for another Saskatchewan first down to the 39. 7 more for a guy a month ago who was tweeting how much he wanted to play in the league and nobody was calling. They're calling his number now.
Yeah, well, he's running behind that offensive line, but he's getting first contact around the 3 or 4 yard mark and still picking up 7 and 8. You can't let him get started. That's the key to stopping a big back like this.
5th time the Riders have had over 100 yards rushing. Messam might be there himself by the end of the night. Down to the 35-yard line, close to 5 more.
What Gary Echeverry has got to try and look at doing here is to try and send blitz more defenders than the Riders can block so that they can get to Messam before he gets going. If he gets that downhill run of 4 or 5 yards, he's picking up 7 or 8 tonight.
4th time that the Bombers have surrendered 100. Edmonton had 192 against them. Rushing the football. 2nd down. Durant may take off, and he'll be stopped short. Bruce Johnson in on the play. And Chris Milo in the field goal unit come on for the Roughriders.
Interesting call here for Saskatchewan. I just want to take a look again if Darian Durant was calling this draw. Yeah, it looked absolutely designed quarterback draw.
And there's the kid, Derek Jones, in on the stop. So Milo from 40 yards out, trying to make it a 5-point lead. Got it. 16-11 Saskatchewan. Midway through the 4th quarter here in Winnipeg. Almost half the Winnipeg yardage tonight came on one drive. 2nd quarter.
And Drew Willie did a little bit of everything in the drive. Nice throw on the run here. Caps it off with a quarterback draw.
They amassed 104 yards on the drive because of a penalty. It officially a 99-yard drive, but only 221 yards on the night. Flag flies out of the backfield. It's Fiole Gadino with the catch. Would be a first down, but let's check the flags. Like Winnipeg was offside.
Offside. Winnipeg number 19, 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
Aaron Kelly ahead of the snap.
By a couple of yards.
So first and 15. And here comes the rush again. Willie knocked off balance and dropped for another sack. Who gets credit?
And Willie's hurt.
And Willie hurt. Trevor Guyton, I believe, knocked him off balance.
Yeah, and at the bottom of that pile, I'm not sure what happened, but he grabbed his leg immediately, trying to walk it off now.
Getting a hand from the fans. Was that a low hit?
Illegal contact on the receiver. Saskatchewan number 35, 10-yard penalty. Still first down.
Weldon Brown gets caught.
Spins there.
So first and 5 after the second illegal contact penalty on Weldon Brown tonight. Willie looking for Collard again. Got him again. No. Couldn't hang on this time. Trying to make his second tough catch of the quarter.
Well, and Willie put the ball right where he had to once more. Again, it's Macho Harris in coverage. He's done a nice job in coverage all game long, number 3 for the Riders. In good position, but look where that ball is thrown, outside to the sideline where only Collard had a chance at it. He's got to survive contact. Once he dives like that, he's got to survive contact with the ground, and doesn't.
Almost another spectacular catch. Second and 5. Gonna go deep. Got Clarence Denmark in stride, and he lost his footing down inside the 15. But what a big play! Drew Willie's done it again. "59 yards to number 89.
That's a big catch and a tough one from Clarence Denmark. This one thrown a little bit out in front of him. He gets out and around on Weldon Brown and has to extend himself so much just to come up with the catch that he loses his balance.
7th career 100-yard game. Denmark helped off up to 117 yards on the night on 5 catches.
Willie had his hands up, halfway up anyway. He thought that was a touchdown throw.
Denmark gets a big hand on the offensive huddle. Wants quiet so they can hear this next play call. Briand checks in late. Lines up at tight end. First and 10. Has time. Into the corner. Jump ball. Touchdown. Rory Collard. And they're loving it in Winnipeg.
Third corner out for Rory Collard, and he's got 2 or 3. This is the biggest.
Macho Harris lost his footing. And Rory Collard has his first touchdown of the year. Third catch. And going for 2. Trying to go up by a field goal. Here comes Brackenridge on the blitz. Fade route, and Pollard couldn't find it. It'll be a 1-point lead with exactly 5 minutes to go.
Well, let's go back to the touchdown from Pollard because he runs the corner, but I want to show you where the throw is and why it's so good of a throw to Pollard, and it confuses Macho Harris or crosses him up. Here goes Pollard on that corner. He's seen it a few times now. Hold it right here. This is where Willie's been throwing it. This time he throws it to the back shoulder, and when Macho Harris tries to make the correction, he gets stumbled, he trips and falls down. It's been front shoulder and to the sideline on the first 2 corner throws. That time he throws it to the backside, and Pollard makes the play. Let's take a look at the car right now. The pressure's coming off the edge from Brackenridge, and this was just Willie trying to get enough air under this that Rory Pollard could find it and go run it down, and he couldn't find it in the lights.
Good coverage by Weldon Brown, and wouldn't have gone away for number 5, but he's got them back in the lead.
Show they got a quarterback they can believe in here in Winnipeg, and it was a tough year last year in their brand new stadium, but they were all here. Each game, just 3 wins. They're having fun tonight.
Another flag to sort out.
After the play was over, major foul on this year roughness. Winnipeg number 52, 15-yard penalty and first from the end of the play. First down.
Richardson, the man who made the tackle. That enhances the Roughriders' field position. They got to deal with this noise. Andrew Messam straight ahead, up over the 40, and they continue to get good first down production out of big number 33. 8 more.
Blocked up nicely again. Running the back. Big blocks on that play.
Second and 2. Messam finds a crease and sent head over heels. Big hit from the safety Mo Leggett, but Messam's got the chains moving again.
The Bombers can't find an answer to Jerome Messam. The Riders will just keep it on the ground, pound it down here to field goal range, try and eat up as much time as they can, and then take the lead. They're gonna have to, the Bombers have got to fill these gaps. Try and get Messam before he gets downhill and roll.
Messam at 95 on the night.
There it is.
He still falls forward. Broke the first tackle. And that should put him over 100 as he crosses midfield.
But that's the start, Chris, and that's what I'm talking about with Damon Washington. The Bombers have been letting Messam get that good running start from the backfield and not set pressure with unblocked guys. Washington shot it. He still couldn't get him down, but at least he got him and slowed the momentum.
So Ford checks in. Messam catches his breath. And there seemed to be confusion at the Roughriders bench, and they are going to call a timeout. Saw somebody scramble down the sidelines to George Cortez in a panicked state, and then they get the timeout.
Jerome Messam had gone to the sideline to get another breather. Will Ford was in the huddle. I'm wondering if a running play was called, and the way Messam had been running that 7 and 8 at a crack, they realized that he was getting a rest, and then said, wait a minute, we want to get the different personnel back in. Started running before he had it. It is a stop. Could have been more. Wally couldn't get the handle, but they forced the rough. Josh Bartell on 3rd down, kicks it away. Aaron Woods from his 10. Big block. But the cover team gets the job done for Saskatchewan. And now Drew Willie. Willie drove his team down for the winning points with 1:40 to go last week in a comeback win. Can he keep the ball away from the Roughriders tonight with the lead here? And the goal here is not to get those points to go ahead, now just to grind the clock down for Drew Willie. And Nick Grigsby, who hasn't played much in the second half at all, is back in the backfield. Roughriders have forced 3 2-and-outs tonight. They're looking for their 4th. Hand off Grigsby. Up to the 25 or close to it. So 6 on 1st down for Grigsby. Lots of options in 2nd and 4. And Grigsby can be part of that with those dump passes, quick swing passes, and pick it up on his own. Jerome Messam did not get the memo that this was a Grigsby-Ford showdown night. Messam at 101, all his yards in the second half for the Roughriders. Big 2nd and 4 here for the Bombers. Wide side, look out, picked off! Terrell Mays, pick 6, touchdown! Read the mail. 4th turnover of the night. I asked Barry Miles, who's your best cover guy in the back end? He said, Terrell Mays. He said, Weldon Brown is 1A, but Terrell Mays can cover. Timing a little bit off. And Mays jumps. First of the year, enormous. And the Roughriders are back in the lead. And the next time Drew Willie gets on the field, he's going to have to engineer another comeback winning drive. His first step is to let that one go. Riders going for 2. 4 receivers wide side, pressure. Durant throws incomplete. Heat was on from Ian Wild. Wide side out, and just a split second off on the timing on this throw. Intended receiver, he runs his route and is open, but you can see the timing is off. You've got to throw that football on that first step on the wide side out. It's just a little bit of a hop, an extra just half pump fake, and Terrell Mays takes that to the house. Mays hung on. And you start to think about the Jiro Quali dropping one. Yeah. However, you look at the clock, 2:16. There's lots of time in Canadian football. Terrell Mays got to get ready again. Buckle up and get ready to go play defense one more time. Drew Willie talked about it yesterday, how much he enjoys the opportunity and challenge to come back with the 2-minute drill at the end of a game. Not the circumstances he wanted. They get a return here. Aaron Woods with a burst. Tossed out at the end of the play. Number 15 tacked on. Willie will start about center field.
think he'll even start in Saskatchewan territory. That's a big bounce back for Woods to help his quarterback out.
After the play, major foul, unnecessary roughness, Saskatchewan number 51, 15-yard penalty, first down.
It's in black.
Out there, it's at the Roughrider 51-yard line. 2:10 on the clock, so time not an issue. Pressure on, Willie threads the needle, but Fioli Gadino can't hang on. The breakup from the safety, Tyron Brackenridge.
Perfect timing for Brackenridge coming downhill and timing this up. Fioli Gadino coming across the middle. If he takes one step back towards the line of scrimmage, he may get a little separation. Tries to catch it up high in his shoulder pads and separated from the football by Brackenridge.
Bombers playing three-down football, or might they punt if not successful here? Willie gets it away, and it's intercepted. Picked off, Mark Legree's got his second of the night. The 5th turnover of the evening. And Saskatchewan's got the lead on the football with 1:53 to go. More pressure up front. And Drew Willie picked off again.
Yeah, tries that intermediate dig route and first down, comes back to second down. He knows he's going to get pressure again, though. Stunt inside. John Chick right in the middle of it one more time and forces another deep throw down the field. Fioli Gadino trying to go deep here. Drew Willie had time to run the offense.
Messam driven back. Greg Peach there on the tackle.
Love you, Mom. Love you, Zach.
Had 22 interceptions in college at Appalachian State. Now he's got 3 on the season. Need a stop. Messam got about 5.5. It's a short 2nd and 5.
Right back to him, you think?
Yep, they do. He's got it. And more. New running back in town. What a night for Jerome Messam.
Sometimes receivers have to get their hands and their nose a little dirty too, and watch Getzlaff come in here and just get a little chip block right there to open up the hole for Messam. That gives him a sliver, and he just bowls his way through that, and then it's one-on-one with the safety. He hurdles Maurice Leggett.
Rolling it up. Give it back to him. Was at 124 prior to that carry, and we now are into the final minute.
Winnipeg.
Bombers stop the clock.
Jerick Wally's taking a knee too. I'm sure he's half exhausted and half frustrated, disappointed. You mentioned it, Chris. He had an interception in his hands, may have scored with it. It would have been a foot race between he and Darian Durant. Dropped it. And the next series, Terrell Mays intercepts Drew Willie. He hangs on to it and scores.
Well, we thought we'd be talking Grigsby, but it's all about Jerome Messam now. All his yards in the second half.
18 carries, 128 yards in one half of football.
Another second down play. Messam stopped this time behind the line of scrimmage. Damon Washington And now Milo will come on, the field goal unit.
Damon Washington, I mentioned this early when Jerome Messam was getting all that momentum and those big yards rushing, 7 and 8 yards a shot. Washington that time blitz. I think Gary Echeverry waited way too long to do this, because watch Washington come in here and he cuts them down before he gets started. That's called, it's basically a run blitz. The Bombers waited too long to do that.
This for an 8-point lead. And Milo has missed it. So a reprieve, and the Bombers will have one last chance. So just one off that latest turnover. 17 points off turnovers, but the Bombers still have life.
Defense, as they were coming off the field there, were trying to get that offense fired up. One more chance, 30 seconds. Now, Drew Willie's got to push one deep here.
-5 in the giveaway takeaway. Can they steal a win here tonight? Willie rolling. Downfield, Kelly hit but holds on. And was he over the line of scrimmage? Flags fly back at that line, and I think this one's coming back.
Illegal forward pass. Winnipeg number 5. The quarterback goes over the line of scrimmage. 10-yard penalty will be applied. It remains first down.
Line of scrimmage, the 35-yard line. There's the ball. You see it's right on that 35-yard line, and then Drew Willie will step up, get outside.
Boy, that's... I'm not sure that's where the release point is. Hard to tell from that angle.
I think his foot was on the
close.
line, but the release point was over it.
And we're gonna get a command
The
center
previous
review.
play is under review by the command center.
Command center's gonna have a look at
You
it.
know, it's that close, but it's where the ball is released from his hand, not necessarily his feet. Now let's take a look. There's that 35-yard line. Now the foot is just behind it there. That one's on the line, but look at the release point of the football. Close enough to be reviewed, though.
Good attention to detail at the command center to at least want to have another look at this. Be a huge difference. They'd have the ball first down at the 55, or
Time for
back at the 25.
Time for 3 more plays.
So 30 yards of real estate at stake here.
After review, the ruling on the field is confirmed by replay. The quarterback goes over the line. 10-yard penalty is applied. Remains
First down at the 25 with 21 seconds. So that took 9 seconds off the clock. Seven deep for the Riders, and down. Ball is loose. That's picked up. They're whistling the play dead as John Chick took one in. A couple of defensive touchdowns tonight. David Lee has one. Terrell Mays has one.
The Bombers up front have not been able to handle this stunt, and the Riders have run a ton of that. It's real simple, basic interior defensive line stunt, and the Riders have run it a ton, and the Bombers have struggled to pick it up.
It's where the Bombers need the guy in the white suit, number 85. Dropped off underneath. Grigsby looking to pitch it. He wanted to pitch it, and Terrius George had time to close and bring him down.
Well, Drew Willie is going to try and sling this now, and he's hoping that he gets a penalty. Pass interference penalty, the ball in the air. For the Saskatchewan Roughriders, they'll back off 40, 50 yards and play for the knockdown.
3rd and 22. Roughriders were in danger of falling 3 games back to the Bombers, now within a play of closing the gap. Clarence Denmark underneath. Brought down by Mays. No, he's going to rugby it out. One of the big boys has it. That's Gosen sending it across. Batted down. Weldon Brown picks it up. And he'll be dropped with zeros on the clock. And the Saskatchewan Roughriders with 5 turnovers. I'll wait for these flags to confirm it. Everybody but the band on the field. Michael O'Shea.
Well, there is a flag for sure. There was a flag down.
On the last play, we had an offside pass against Saskatchewan number 35. That penalty's declined. That's the end of the game.
So the game in the books. And the Terrell Mays interception, the difference. 5 turnovers, 17 points. And the Roughriders emerge with a hard-fought win. Saskatchewan goes to 4-2. The Bombers drop to 5-2. And Jerome Messam has made his mark with the Saskatchewan Roughriders. Good defensive battle tonight. So long from Winnipeg. SportsCenter is